work, pediatrician or orthopedician or whatever. Then another thing is when you have very specific time-bound targets to meet, it will be help if you are giving a specific project to a consultant rather than having it done through the internal resources of a company because of a firm. Because even if you are able to monitor your own employees or your in-house talent, there may be other activities also which require to be done and which will take up their time. So when you have very specific projects and you have very specific time-bound targets to meet, it will always be better if you can get a consultant to do that. Another quite important thing which some of you have highlighted is the hierarchical freedom which comes with consulting. That is, consultants actually are outside the firm, even though they try to understand what the organization is doing or what the firm is actually requiring. All these requirements analysis is being done. Still, they are hierarchically independent. They are not inside the structure of the firm, which means the controls on a consultant are quite different when compared to the controls of or controls on an employee of the firm. So they are actually more free. And another important thing which consultants bring along is their experience. Usually, consultants will have seen many types of problems, many types of organizations, many situations. So this adds to their experience. When you're working in one particular organization, your exposure will be limited unless that particular organization itself is very well structured and is exposed to a lot of such situations. Your exposure levels will be low and your experience levels may also be low. Depends on the organization. So as a general fact, you can take it that consultants usually bring along a lot of experience. And again, as we highlighted earlier, specific skill sets are also available from consultants. If you want to look at data, probably a data scientist will be able to help you better compared to your own information systems people in the company. Very specific skills may be delivered by the consultant. And another aspect is that when you are an employee inside an organization, there may be very specific legal limits to how you can be employed and what you can contribute and how you can actually come up with particular solutions. All these will be very legally controlled. When you are consulting, the legal controls are totally different. Actually, it is the contract law which is important. It is quite different from what employees are governed by. Another important aspect which is central to consulting is the level of communication. In many firms, we will find that employees are usually inside their own departments or inside their own divisions. Hello? And intra-departmental communication may be limited. Access to communication channels may be limited. These are all part and parcel of organizational environments. When a consultant comes from outside, there should be no such barriers. He or she is from the outside, so it is all equal for them. From the perspective of communication also, consulting may be required, especially if it is the particular problem is of an interdisciplinary nature where access to different departments, different kind of information from different levels of management are all required. So this is actually a small list. You can enlarge on this, but this covers most of the important points. Why consulting is required. One is that specialized knowledge of the consultant. And the second one is if you have specific time-bound targets to meet, it is better to hire consultants. And hierarchical freedom of consultants is very important when you are trying to develop solutions. The experience and specific skill sets of consultants, again, is a big plus point. And the legal controls exercised on consultants is quite different from what you exercise on your own employees. And when you think about communication, the consulting arena is actually about communication. When you are dealing with clients, you will be actually a better consultant if you can communicate without any barrier. And usually it is found that good consultants, are much better communicators compared to in-house specialists. Okay, these are some of the points you should keep in mind if somebody asks you about why consulting is required. When we think about consulting, the primary thing we have to discuss is the client-consultant interaction. Without the client, there is no consultant. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the consultant shares knowledge and expertise with the client instead of trying to hide and withhold it. This is something many consultants or budding consultants don't spend much time on. It looks more like a prosaic statement, but it carries much weight. What is this about? The consultant shares knowledge and expertise with the client instead of trying to hide and withhold it. I will share a small example. When I was working in industry, I'm an electrical engineer by training and I practice electrical engineering. I remember around 2001 or 2002, for a particular big generator. You understand what is a generator? It generates electricity. We had some small issues when we took the particular generator online. It used to trip frequently. We tried all our usual solutions. We tried to develop our own methods of solving the problem, but still we were only partially successful. We had certain limitations with regard to the mechanical controls being used. We didn't actually fully understand it at that time. So what I did was our department called in a consultant. He was from Mangalore. He was a senior guy. But the way he tried to solve that, I still remember. This particular statement: the consultant shares knowledge and expertise with the client instead of trying to hide and withhold it. So it took around 3 days to completely study the mechanisms and come out with a solution. But the actual problem was with something called a governor. There is something called a governor attached to any kind of generator, which governs the mechanism for fuel and things like that. So this person showed me, that is the important part. That is why I am focusing on that. What exactly was wrong? Actually, what was wrong was you have to fill oil for certain moving parts inside this governor. Unfortunately, the particular grade of oil which we were using had been changed in between, which didn't come to our notice, which changed the time lag. All the moving parts inside this governor operate inside this oil, and it is very important that your oil physical properties are as specified. Any change will affect the operation. So this particular consultant showed me exactly what was the problem. This oil, something called viscosity. I hope you can understand what is viscosity. നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ ഓയിൽ കയ്യിലെടുത്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒഴുകി പോകുന്ന ഒരു ഇതുണ്ടല്ലോ, അത് വ്യത്യാസം ഉണ്ടാവും. ഈ ഡിഫറെന്റ് ഓയിൽസിന് ഡിഫറെന്റ് ലെവൽസ് ഓഫ് വിസ്കോസിറ്റി ആയിരിക്കും. ആ വിസ്കോസിറ്റി ചേഞ്ച്ഡ് ആയിരുന്നു. ദാറ്റ് വാസ് ദ പ്രോബ്ലം. അപ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ ടൈം ലാഗ് മാറിയതോടെ റെസ്പോൺസ് ടൈം ഒക്കെ മുഴുവൻ മാറിത്തരും. ഇത് പിന്നെ ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു. ദാറ്റ് വാസ് ദ എക്സാക്ട് റീസൺ. സോ instead of just solving the particular, he could have very well told me, just buy this, replace this. I won't know anything. But instead of that, that particular consultant was showing me exactly what was going wrong. He showed me how much change is happening, what has to be done to adjust that, and things like that. You understand? He could have very well not shown us anything. so that if that problem recurs, he can again come along. That is another way of doing the same thing. But here, the consultant was sharing the knowledge and expertise with the client. Our firm was a client. So instead of trying to hide and withhold it. So if you try to hide and withhold it, probably you may get a second chance. As a business, you'll be called in a second time. But usually, that second chance will be your final chance, because by that time, people will have found out what is wrong, not from you, but by studying what you have been doing. And the third time around, they will not call you. Not only that, they will also tell others that this person is good at giving solutions, but actually that solution only you will get. You will not get the knowledge to solve similar problems later, which is not exactly expected of a good consultant. Okay, so this is one point you should keep in mind. The consultant shares the knowledge and expertise with the client instead of trying to hide and withhold it. For many of us, this is a very big jump. Many of us usually try to protect our experience, our specialized knowledge by hiding things, not by divulging things. So even if this is a very simple statement to make, in practice, this is very difficult. Okay. So in client consultant interactions, in a proper client consultant interaction, the consultant shares the knowledge and expertise with the client instead of trying to hide and withhold it. Okay. And the client should participate as closely and intensively as possible in the assignment. Again, I can give you another example. The consultant, after all, is an outsider. He or she may not be fully aware of all the factual details associated with a particular problem. So unless the client participates closely and intensively in the problem solution, the solution delivered may not fulfill the requirements to the full extent. So this client involvement is extremely important. Again, this looks like a very simple statement, but in practice, this is very important. The reason is very clear. Many times in organizations, when you call in consultants, the internal people, that is the employees in the particular organization or particular department, will always see the consultant as an outsider. And many times you have ego clashes. That is, when the consultant asks for some information, the department head may tell the employees, no, he or she is an outsider, don't divulge all those things, just tell the basic things, don't divulge all the things. So what will happen? If you are an employee or I am an employee, and the consultant asks me for something, I will tell him or her, yes, our department head has got the details, so please contact him or her. Okay. This kind of participation is not a good way to proceed with. The client also should participate as closely and intensively as possible in the assignment. There is another view. Actually, we are paying the consultant. So let the consultant work. It is not for us to get involved in this. We will be actually looking at what the consultant is doing. This approach is to be avoided. The client should also participate as closely and intensively as possible in the assignment. Okay. And both the parties should spare no effort to make assignment a valuable learning experience. This is the crux of consultant. That is, both the client and the consultant should think about this particular assignment, the consulting assignment, as a valuable learning experience. Why do you want to think about it as a learning experience? Faiz? Mohammed Faiz. Yes. Why should we think about consulting as a learning experience?
We can learn many things from each problem.
you are thinking from the perspective of the employee inside the organization or from the consultant side?
From the
Company side, organization side. Am I right?
from the organization side.
Okay, right.
As
So
the consultant may know, he has some more experience from different areas,
Oh,
so it might help quickly than the employee to solve such problems.